Welcome back, everyone. Today we're talking all about Friday's NBA play-in games. We got two games. The first one will be the Atlanta Hawks hosting the Miami Heat for a trip to battle the Cavaliers in round one. The second one will be the Dallas Mavericks on the road taking on the Grizzlies with the right to play the Thunder in the first round. I have two picks in each of these games. We'll dive into them in just one moment. As always, my name's Austin. Thank you for tuning in. Let's recap how we did the last day betting the NBA on Wednesday. Pretty good day for us. We'll take a 3-1 day, only losing our long shot SGP. We had Josh Giddey over points plus assists. What a wagon he has been. Sad to see him go. He's been a goat to us all season long. PJ Washington's over in points. He shot terribly, still came through. And Khalil Ware, our VIP Dub Club exclusive play, under in points plus rebounds. We smacked that one. That was a pretty easy winner. Dub Club exclusive plays are heating up. I think we've hit 3 in a row, going for a 4th straight today. Now, if that was not good enough, we also, and you probably know this, cash day 2 of the ladder challenge. We brought it back 2 days ago, obviously. We didn't have one on Thursday when this video is dropping, but we will have one locked and loaded for Friday's slate. We posted later on Friday afternoon. I'll wait for those alternate lines to come out, and hopefully we can cook up another winner. Try to turn that $40 into 80. But without further ado, you might notice we haven't been tracking the ladder towards our record. I do feel like that is mostly just me trying to limit our exposure in the playoffs. Sometimes I feel like in the regular season with the ladder, we would avoid our biggest plays because we already had 1.5 or 2 units on them. And in turn, we avoided them, which are our favorite plays, because we didn't want to overexpose ourselves with 3 units. Instead, we're not tracking the ladder. Let's just hope we can build. Let's get to 10K. Why not us? Either way, my last note before I dive into things is Underdog Fantasy right now. Free pick out there for Luka Doncic to get you 1 point. Take advantage of that. Luka plays on Saturday, so you have plenty of time to sign up using my code COS or the link at the top of the description. They'll match your first deposit up to $1,000. Take advantage of that. Code COS, link down below. My last note, I don't have a slide for it. Betr, we've talked about Betr a ton. They're actually dropping their promo offer down to only $77 instead of like a $250 entry match, something like that. So if you want to sign up, now is probably the time to do it before that changes, I think at noon on Friday. But either way, let's dive in the picks. First one of the day, we rode with Josh Giddey. It's only right that we go to a COS Hall of Famer and what could be his final game of the season, Mo Gay. I'm going to try not to get canceled in this video by saying some questionable things. But Mo Gay is a COS Hall of Famer. We fade him. And the last time we faded him, it was wrong. He cashed in the blowout, scored 4 of his 6 points in the fourth quarter because the rest of his teammates weren't playing. Let's hope that is not the case today as they're at home taking on the Miami Heat. We're taking his under 6.5 points, though, at -120 on DraftKings. Now, I got to give Gay a tip of the cap. He had a really good first play-in game. He was arguably not the best player for the Hawks because he's far from that, but he was one of their most impactful players. He had 12 points, 5 of 5 from the field, 2 for 5 from the free throw line. Now, if you ever watched Mo Gay play, how does he score? Number one, he scores in transition. That's really the majority of where he scores. In transition, get some easy layups and dunks like that. Number two, he is a spot-up shooter. He'll sit in the corners. But again, he's not the best spot-up shooter, so let's hope he's missing those tonight. And in turn, he played a ton of minutes because he played really well, not on both sides of the court. I don't see that being the case here against Miami. He split this line with 9, I think 4 or 5 points against the Heat so far this season. And I think they're going to have to lean on their better spot-up shooters like Niang, Terrence Mann, who didn't play well in the first game. Karis LeVert will get his minutes. I don't see this being a big Mo Gay game. And when he's out there, he's probably guarding Khalil Ware. Khalil Ware is a pretty good defender, and I don't see him getting a lot of easy layups in transition where the Heat should be pretty locked in, one of the better transition defenses. So if he beats us, it's probably via the 3-point line, and at that point, I would live with it. Mo Gay, more like less gay. Sorry. Okay. Sue me. We're taking his under 6.5 points. First play of the day. My second play is actually in that same game. It will be a little bit of a tease. It's an under in 3s. It's a Dub Club exclusive play, going for a 4th straight winner. You can check that out. Link in the description. $10 off your first month. Get in the Dub Club. You get this pick, which I don't post anywhere else. And you also get the ladder challenge plenty early before everyone else as well. So check that out. That's my only other pick there. Now let's move to the second game. If I had to pick who wins that game, it's going to be the Heat. The Heat are going to win because it'll piss me off because I am notoriously pretty bad at betting the Heat in the playoffs, and they always manage to squeak their way in and always annoy me for a full series or 2. So I'll lean the Heat. I think they're the better team. I'm going to root for the Hawks because I'm from Atlanta, but again, I probably would lean towards the Heat. Not an official play because I'm going to be rooting against them. Next play of the day, just running back PJ Washington. This time we're taking his over in PRAs, 24.5 PRAs points. Rebounds and assists -125 on FanDuel. Would I play this at 25.5? Yes. Now we're limiting these to half unit plays, as you probably have noticed, not a full unit, although some people are psychos and have been playing them for a full unit. Congrats. You're winning more than I am. But again, I want to limit our exposure in the postseason, a place where I've historically struggled. And heck, if we have a great postseason, who's going to be mad? Not even me, because we'll still be making money, even though if it would just be at a half unit. We ran with PJ Washington in the first game of the play-ins, and he played really well. And it wasn't, the best matchup in the world, but he got the job done. And I can see that continuing here today. I did points in the first game, I like PRAs here, because I see a upside for him and some rebounds. And given how the Grizzlies or the Mavs changed their lineup, no Spencer Dinwiddie. This team doesn't really have a lot of playmaking, and I don't see Spencer starting here. So the starting lineup they're trying out there is Najee Marshall, PJ Washington, Klay Thompson, Gafford or / Lively, and Anthony Davis. So you kind of need playmaking. You kind of saw that out of a guy like PJ Washington. Now, I will point out, this is how he did. This is his PropsMadness chart. Reminder, PropsMadness, you can sign up using code COS if you want to. This was the first game, 30 PRAs. So he cleared it pretty easily at 17 points, 5 of 15 shooting. It's not a great shooting game, but 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Pretty solid. Now, what I really like to see is his usage in that game. Look at the usage, spiked to 23%, 24%. He played 37 minutes, could have played 39 if there wasn't a blowout. He rested the final 2. And we've seen so far this season when we see him get the usage, so let's say 20% usage, give or take. This is 20%. And he gets the minutes, which he's pretty much locked into 30 minutes unless he gets in foul trouble. It's over in 16 to 20 games. So he's been really good, averaging nearly 33 PRAs in these games. Now, it's hard to say, well, a lot of these games are with different lineups, and I get that. But he's going to be needed out there for defensive purposes. I think it's the guy that could realistically go out there and score 20 points. He could also chip in 10 rebounds. He's had, and I didn't even pull up his head-to-head numbers versus them this season. Head-to-head wise this season, he's at 33 on 6 of 10 shooting. You see those 7 assists, pretty good. And then 7 of 22, 17, got it done here, 32 PRAs. So again, I look at this as a high volume spot for him. Najee Marshall, not a big a guy creating his own shot. He can do it, but not that great. Klay Thompson, same. So you're going to lean heavily on Anthony Davis. We know that, but outside of that, you're going to need other guys that can be aggressive and attack the hoop. I like PJ Washington as that guy. I don't know who guards him. I'd lean towards Desmond Bane if I had to guess, but put Jaren Jackson Jr. on him. I don't care. Jaren doesn't like coming out to the perimeter. So PJ should get his open opportunities. What did he shoot from 3 in that last game? He didn't shoot well. I do know that. He was 1 for 6. So let's see some positive shooting regression. Even without it, I still think he can clear this line at 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And then my fourth and final play of the day will be another under, and it's a half unit play. It's on Klay Thompson, under 16.5 points plus assists, which is with just a half unit play, minus 114 on a FanDuel. Now, normally I wouldn't be taking a spot up shooter under against the Grizzlies, because historically on the season, they have been one of the best matchups for spot up shooters. I'll kind of show that, and I'll show kind of what's changed over the last few weeks, give or take. Let's hope you can see this and why we're fading Klay Thompson. Now, on the season, this is catch and shoot 3-pointers. You'd see on the season, the Grizzlies 5th most catch and shoot 3s allowed. I'm not blocking that. And then in terms of 3-point attempts, 5th right there. So normally for a guy like Klay Thompson, and we'll go to points plus assists for him, you would probably not want to take an under in points plus assists, because you're looking at a great matchup for spot up shooting and stuff like that. However, with Zach Edey in the lineup and them changing their defensive identity with Zach Edey playing drop coverage over the last 7 games, kind of when they made that change, fired Taylor Jenkins, you'll see 4th fewest catch and shoot made 3s allowed. So they've switched their defense up a ton, and I think they can limit Klay Thompson, as opposed to before then they were getting torched from the 3-point line. Now, sure, Steph Curry made 6, but he's an anomaly. Again, Klay Thompson coming off a good game, had 25 points, 23 points, 2 assists there. Now, you could just take his regular under in points, but that was 13.5. I don't mind it at 14.5. A lot of books were actually at 13.5. So I don't mind there. I don't really see a high upside in assists either for him. You can get at 16.5 on every single book. Both are totally fine with me. Head-to-head wise, though, first them this season, he's under in 2 of 3, 7, 18, and 16. Now, I will note the volume was great in these 2 games. 16 shots here, 19 shots here. Again, a lot of guys are out here. Kyrie and Luka out here as well. That was when their defense was at a much worse. Now their defense a little bit better. We'll see if John Morant plays, but I see them doing a better job at it. And then if you look at his 3-point line, his 3-point line for 4 plus 3s is plus 210. So if you were to tell me, hey, they don't think, or minus 210. So we don't think Klay's making 4 or more 3s. So that's a pretty good hit rate without the 4 3s. And then if you look at when he's played with AD and he's made 3 or fewer, he's under nearly every single one of these games. The only over came against the Nets. A great spot up opportunity for him. So I get it, Klay on paper. You might look at it as, hey, this is a great spot up opportunity for him. But their defense has switched a ton. And I think he'll have probably Scottie Pippen Jr., who I consider to be a pretty decent defender, running around and chasing him. So I don't think if I'm the Grizzlies, I want to let Klay Thompson beat me. If it is anyone, it's going to be Anthony Davis making contested shots. It's going to be PJ Washington making tough shots. Najee Marshall, not one of the best shooters of all time, in Klay Thompson. So I look at that as a tough spot for Klay on the road. He's coming off a game he shot really efficiently, 8 for 11. You'd expect some regression to come there. I like that under there for Klay Thompson, points and assists. If you only had individual line, take the 14.5 points. If it was 14.5 points, I probably would lean towards that. But when I was giving out the pick, I saw it at 13.5. So I'll do either way. I don't see him having a big game. You could take the PRAs, which is 19.5. I'd just rather not get rebounds involved there. Just points and assists. Klay normally not assisting his teammates a ton. I really like this over or this under for Klay Thompson. So to recap my picks, Mo Gay's under in points. A Dub Club exclusive under in threes in the Hawks and Heat game. PJ Washington's over in PRAs, and Klay Thompson's under 16.5 points. I think that's going to be another good day for us. We're coming off a 3-1 Wednesday. So close to the 50 unit mark. Let's sweep the board and get to the 50 unit mark. Why not us? Certainly think we can do that. Also, as I said at the top of the show, ladder challenge will be live in a little bit. Day 3 will be live later on Friday, probably Friday, sometime early afternoon. Stay tapped in for that. And a final reminder, you want to sign up for Underdog, use my code COS. 100% deposit match up to $1,000, and they'll give you this Luka Doncic free pick. Take advantage. Either way, let's have a great Friday. Let's dominate. I'll have our Saturday video probably out before these games tip off. So that could be by the time you watch this. If you're curious, my Saturday plays, probably going to try to drop that video early-ish afternoon, evening for these games. So I'll probably record Saturday before knowing our outcome of these picks, just because I have something that I have to get to really, really early Saturday morning. So either way, thank you for tuning in. Let's continue to dominate the postseason. I'll see you guys back again in the next one. Let's have a good day. I'll sell my soul for some MLB winners, though, if I'm being honest. Not about MLB. Let's have a day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.